Qatar water. Now, Qatar are quite limited on what they have. They don't make any alcohol. You're more likely to think of Arabic coffee, but I don't think Arabic coffee is necessarily iconic with Qatar. I'd say more so Iraq and another country that I'm going to mention later. I'm not really a coffee drinker either. And I've heard Qatar do have some really good water, so I'm going to go with that. Ecuador, blank. Senegal, no answer. The Netherlands, Heineken. Now, Heineken does often get its criticism for being plain or whatever, but I think it's a very good beer. 5% in alcohol volume. It's great to have whilst watching the football. Commercially, it's thrived off that aspect. Great for partying, football, just to get drunk. Gonna go Heineken. England, Thatcher's Gold. Thatcher's Gold, a local cider from Somerset. There's going to be debate again on which is better. Maybe I've got a bit of local bias, but I think Thatcher's Gold does take the cake for this one. Say a dry cider, well, not dry as in opposite of wet, but dry is just another way of describing the flavour or the taste. Made from apples plus some gold colouring, and yeah, it's great to have, especially in pint glasses. When you want to take it cans to football, that works as well. So yeah, Thatcher's Gold, I think, right now, currently the best drink from England. Iran, no answer. USA, Budweiser. Budweiser, I think this is another really good drink. Heavily has thrived off the commercial branding with football. Again, this isn't a drink USA, I haven't had many drinks, and you could probably find some excellent local beer, whiskey, or any other drink. But Budweiser, I think this is a good one to have. Great for sharing. Just love the taste. And I think I'm going to be having a lot of this when I go to Qatar next month. Wales, I suppose it's got to be a Welsh whiskey. More of a cult beer in terms of it's quite niche in its knowability. Certainly nowhere near as iconic as Scotland, USA, and even like Japan or India. But I think not so on the brand, but you probably do have to go Welsh whiskey. And I don't really know what Welsh. Oh, actually, now that I've just thought of it, Black Dragon cider. Black Dragon cider, quite a strong cider. 5. It's again, I think it's one of my favourite ciders. How could I have forgotten that? It's strong. It's got some nice flavours in it, and that's an underrated gem that I would recommend. So Wales, Black Dragon cider. Argentina, no answer. Saudi Arabia, Arabic coffee. Like I said earlier, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but Saudi Arabia is an iconic country with Arabic coffee, along with Iraq, and I think you've got to more or less go with this because it's more of a symbol compared to some of the other Middle Eastern countries. I'm not very well knowledge on the brands. We'll go for Arabic coffee for now. Mexico, Sierra Reposado tequila. No, tequila, one of my favorite alcohols out there. Burning taste. It's also popular to have like salt and lime with it as well. There's also as far as Sierra, there's also Silva, which is also a pretty good tequila. But as far as the taste, I think Reposado is the best one. It's got that colouring which the silver one doesn't. I think it is a little bit less stronger, something like that, compared to silver. I'd have to check the bottle side from side, but I think Sierra Reposado it has the flavour, the strength, and I think probably my favourite tequila, and I guess it had the advantage of that was the first one I tried. Corona as a beer, that's a pretty popular one as well. It's good, but I thought I would still go with the Sierra Tequila. Poland, no answer. They've got a beer with the bison. It begins with Z, but I don't necessarily remember what it was called. I've not tried it yet, but if I did like it, I'd probably pick that. But I know they've got a few good ranges of beer and vodka. I'd have to try something before I could really give an answer. France, Ciroc grapefruit vodka. Again, this was one of my first. This was my first introduction to vodka. Vodka does have its criticism for being a more plain in strong drink, but I think the grapefruit that's sort of within the ingredients of the vodka itself without even having to add some extra soft or fizzy drink to it. The grapefruit gives it a bit of extra dimension, which I think helps taste good, and not a lot of other famous beers or ciders in France. The wine's iconic, but I think for me, I've got to go with the Ciroc vodka, more specifically grapefruit. Australia, Foster's. Now, Foster's does have its critics too, based on taste. But to be honest, there's not really any other standout alcohol from Australia. So I think Foster's it's a drink I certainly don't dislike, and I'd say it's just above average. I'd say it's a passable drink. It's decent. It does the job when you're in the mood. It's well advertised for being a beach drink as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Foster's. Denmark, there's two options. You could go Carlsberg, or you could go with I think it's Vilborg. I've not had either. I was under the impression that Carlsberg did have a bad reputation in its taste, but maybe turned out not to be. I suppose you got to go with Carlsberg, but I've not really had either. Tunisia, I don't have an answer for that. On to Group E, we'll start with Part 1 team Spain, and I've gone with the orange juice. Now, orange juice, here I think there's just something extra about having it in a Mediterranean country, especially Spain. The flavors, there's a bit less sugar, a bit less milk, but that doesn't really affect the taste back domestically here. But I think there's just something about Spain where the orange juice just stands out amongst their other drinks. So I've got to go with them. Costa Rica, no answer. Germany, Polania, a beer from Munich. This is a drink that's great for having during Christmas festivals. I first had it back in 2019 when there was a beer thing going on. What was it? In the Christmas market. Germany also has its fair amount of bitter beers, which not really too keen on bitter in general, but I think Polania it's a good beer. It's not the most distinctive, but the common traits it has, I think it does have them well. Japan, Asahi. Certainly Japan's most famous beer. This is a craft beer which I think has a good taste. It grown its popularity in supermarkets back during 2020 or 2021 during the pandemic. Personally, I remember first having it like a week before it got popular in supermarkets. I had it from a South Korean takeaway place, and it definitely stood out as a drink that I'd want to have again. Well crafted and taste goes well. Belgium, I don't have an answer. They do have their fair share as a beer. Quack stands out. I don't know if I've had that one. Possibly. I know I've bought it before, but I think I've got to leave it blank for now. Canada, no answer. Yeah, they do have their fair shares of whiskey. I think they do whiskey, vodka, and beer, but it's not something I've tried, so I'm gonna hop over that one. Morocco, again, I don't have an answer. I don't really know drinks they have over there. Probably coffee and water, but don't really know enough. Croatia, pear rakiza. Now rakiza, it's a drink I don't really know. I have a contact on social media that did recommend a rakiza for Croatia and Serbia. I'll get more into the Serbia one later, but rakiza as a drink, it's like a brandy and a vodka and a drink. It's popular over Balkan areas such as Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia, and I think maybe not Bosnia, maybe, but certainly in Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, and some of the other countries around there, Slovenia as well. The pear rakiza stood out, so just put it on. Brazil, I've got blank. No, there are certainly a lot of beach drinks there. Martini and orange with vodka. I haven't really had a Brazilian version. They've got beers there as well. Yeah, I'm blank on this one. Serbia, plum rakiza. The awesome BLE shared both Serbia and Croatia rakizas as suggestions, and I asked which would be the best one for Serbia, and he suggested the plum rakiza. Again, a vodka brandy-like drink. Going with that. Switzerland, I've gone on blank, and Cameroon, don't have an answer for that either. Portugal, port. One drink that certainly does stand out in terms of origin is port. Not many others like this. If you think port, you're probably going to think of the drinks in Porto, where it's made from, and I think just overall it's a good drink, and certainly something different out of the rest. Ghana, don't have an answer, and that's the same with Uruguay and South Korea. South Korea, interestingly enough, I've had an energy drink come from there. Not usually an energy drink person, but it's all right. It doesn't necessarily warrant me putting this on there because it was also quite sugary. I know South Korea does have its beers as well. Just haven't had any, and yeah, that's pretty much it on that front. So there were each of the 32 participating countries at the World Cup, and those that I have selected, which I think was about half of them. I've given them my take on their best drink, whether it be water, soft drink, or alcohol. That's what I've given them. Let me know your thoughts. If you're from a country with that I haven't given answers for, then do let me know what your country's best drink is, and if you've got any disagreements with me, do let me know as well, or if you just agree, just let me know. So yeah, that's it for the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.